Uh, Welcome to another blog. Here's what I want to talk about today. Uh, Yesterday, New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg came out and said that if he had to guess who was responsible for the New York City attempted car bomb, he would guess that it's a homegrown terrorist who's possibly mentally deranged and possibly someone with a political agenda, such as somebody who doesn't like the health care bill. Although there is very little evidence, in fact, there's no evidence for that claim. Obviously, it's just his guess, and he said it's just his guess. But if you have absolutely no evidence, I don't care what you think, you probably shouldn't make that kind of guess. What Mr. Bloomberg should have done is wait a couple hours until the news broke that they had actually followed a computer lead and they ended up arresting a person who owned the computer that was on Craigslist that purchased the vehicle that the bomb was in. If he'd have just waited and seen that on the news, maybe he'd have stopped and said, well, okay, this is obviously a Pakistani who had some sort of motives that probably have nothing to do with healthcare. Um, the larger issue here is, why is it that there's an entire section of the country who roots uh, for these bad things to come from American citizens, who automatically think the worst of American citizens? There's a reason people want to move here. There's a reason that uh, people like America, people are jealous of America, American citizens want to continue to be American citizens. We're a great nation with great people. One thing that we really want to try to stress here on this blog is, if you have absolutely no facts, it's probably not good to make some sort of guess, such as, I think it's a homegrown terrorist who doesn't like the healthcare bill. It may come out that a homegrown terrorist who doesn't like the healthcare bill set up some Pakistani guy. But before you had any facts, the only thing that we could reasonably come up with about a motive for this bomb plot over the weekend was possibly that someone was trying to blow up the Comedy Central studios, which apparently are in the building right next to where the bomb was. For those of you who haven't been following along or who don't like South Park, a reason somebody might want to do that is because recently that cartoon South Park tried to portray the Prophet Muhammad in any manner that they could to see if they could make a cartoon about him. They've made they put images of every other religious figure on their show, yet Islamic terrorists, and make that distinction, terrorists, not just regular Muslims. Islamic terrorists have said that they will kill anyone who makes a cartoon of the Prophet. So they put him in a bear costume in one episode, and it caused a huge uproar. So if you were going to make a guess without having any evidence at all, seeing how the proximity of the building to where the car bomb was, that's honestly the only logical guess that you could make. Mayor Bloomberg, however, for some reason, I don't know, suspects that Americans are all of a sudden going to start bombing and terrorist bomb plots in greater numbers than they have been, and completely dismiss the fact that this could be something else, like the underwear bomber or the shoe bomber or whatever sort of bombers that we had. It turns out they've arrested a guy who was going back to Pakistan. I'm not going to say this guy is guilty without there being, a trial, evidence, all that stuff. However, what I would like to say is, can we at least have some national pride? Can we at least root for the home team every now and then? It seems odd to me that, one, if you're going to be like a mayor or you're going to be a elected official, you probably shouldn't be the kind of person who just jumps to wild conclusions without any evidence anyway. But if you're going to jump to wild conclusions, what service does it do to your community, to your country, to automatically assume the worst about your citizens? To automatically assume, and this is what Bloomberg's doing, he's assuming that some Tea Party nut job wanted to blow up something because they don't like the healthcare bill. I don't like the healthcare bill. I'm not going to blow anything up, all right? And judging from the history, the last 20 years that I know of, but I know it's gone back much further than that, there's not a huge amount of history to suggest that this would have been a homegrown terrorist attempt. We have a lot of terrorists in America that do certain things. I mean, if you just want a technicality, a lot of them shoot people. All right, we had Timothy McVeigh blew something up. Yeah, most of them go somewhere and go on a shooting rampage. Not to broadly generalize things, but that's kind of what American terrorists typically do. Islamic terrorists prefer bombs. So if you're going to guess based on no evidence at all, if someone was going to blow something up and I was going to make an uneducated guess, I would guess that it was probably Islamic terrorists. If somebody went on a shooting rampage, then I would guess it's probably an American terrorist. So before we start making ourselves look completely ridiculous and just assuming stupid shit, how about we wait till some of the evidence comes out? And if you absolutely can't wait till the evidence comes out, how about give the home team at least the benefit of the doubt? All right? Leave the comments below. That's all I've got today. Peace.